What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make a Roblox game for yourself. These are just the basics of using Studio, just some tips and stuff. I'm by far not like really great of a builder, script or whatever. I'll just be showing like the basics of getting like into it. There's a lot of great tutorials if you want to learn more like in-depth stuff, but I'll try to explain like, in not too long time on how to do this. So before I get into it, please make sure to like and subscribe. I make a lot of content like this and I want to help you guys out as much as possible. I'm trying to grow my channel so I can help people out more, and I also do Robux giveaways to subscribers on occasion. So if you subscribe, join my Roblox group, I'll probably choose some of you guys to give Robux. So you most likely have probably downloaded Roblox Studio. If you haven't, just go to the create tab on Roblox on your website and then go to where it says download Roblox Studio. Once you're in there, you'll see something that looks just about like this. It may look updated if you're watching this like super far in the future, but it should look something like this. Now you can do any of these, but I'm just gonna choose something basic. You need to choose this one, which doesn't have really much lighting, or this one, which has really good lighting. I would say just use this base plate right here. It's got really good lighting. All right, so once you're in here, you can move your character around with W, A, S, and D. So W is to go forward, S is to go back, A is to go left, D is right, and then just hold your right mouse button to like look around, and you can zoom in. If you want to move super fast to somewhere instead of this slow, you can zoom by scrolling your mouse wheel up, or zoom out by scrolling your mouse wheel down. So let's just kind of start making something here. I'll be showing you guys and explaining how to do this. The top area might look like this. It may look a little bit different, but it's still basically the same thing. You're going to want to go to here where it says part. Let's just put a part here, and I'll just put it right wherever your cursor is looking, and you can see it here. So now you can drag it around like that, or you can use this move tool. I'll just make something really basic, not really that much, but you guys can see you can go here. Right here's where you choose what tools. This one's move, which will give you these four, greens up, rights, reds to the sides, and then this one scale is to make it smaller or larger. We could just do this here like this. I don't know exactly what I'm doing with this. You kind of get the idea. Just mess around. And then this one rotate here. This will turn it to this like in a circle like that, and then this will put it on its side, and then we'll put this like this. Something like that is really interesting. So let's put this up like that. Now this piece is levitating up here. If you want to change the color of it, just click on whatever you want to change. So you can go to material manager here, and you can change the texture. Some of these like may not load in. If they look like empty though, they're still loading in. But we'll just make this one brick, and we'll make this one cobblestone, and we'll make this one corroded metal. As you can see, these are like the colors that we're looking for. Like if we want to make this red, you just click on that, go to where it says color, and then make it red. I'll make it a nice color like that, and then this one we'll make it a dark gray. And this one will make it more of like an orangish kind of brown. Now if stuff like can't go through each other, like if you want to have two things in between each other, go up to the top left where it says this collisions and just turn that off. Now you can put it inside, which is really good for like windows and stuff. All right, so now what you can do is you can go to this button here that says play. So you can click this down arrow if you want to spawn like right here instead of right on that spawn location. Wherever you have this is where the player will spawn. So if you were to play here, it would spawn right here, and you'd spawn in the game like right here instead on the spawn point. Now as you can see, this fell over, these fell down, and I can just run in them, kick them around and stuff, and that's not how we want our game. Like you most likely want your game to not look like that. Let's stop playing it here, and you're just going to want to click on it and click anchor up at the top. So this will anchor them so they can't drop. And now I'll show you one that isn't anchored, and I'll compare the two. If you want to duplicate something, you can either do Control C and then Control V, which will paste it outside, or you can just select it all and do Control D, which will duplicate as you can see here, and you'll just basically show up right here. So now we'll just go here, we'll unanchor these and have these anchored, and we'll compare the two. So as you can see, the anchored one is defying gravity, and this one is completely fallen over. Now, if you want to make something more like, more exact instead of just these massive like cuts like that, you want to go to where it says model in the top, and then just click these arrows, and they'll basically move it. You can move it as tiny as you want, like that, little bit like that. You can just kind of shape something up a lot better. So let me just make like something. I'll make something like this. There we go. So we have something weird like that. So now you can go as exact as you want. If you want to make it like right next to it, you can do that and make it just have that like little sliver, tiny little sliver. Or you can have it, super big, and you'll basically just be able to customize it as much as you want. Now, if you want to do something, you can go up to the top right here where it says redo and undo, these little arrows. This can like redo what you did or undo what you did. That's pretty easy. If you don't see this stuff on the side here, you're going to want to go to see where it says Explorer and Properties. So this basically just shows you the two, these will show you these two on the side. They may not be put up like that, but you can change the menus really easily like this. Just be like, here. Or just hover over here and put it there. So let's just test out. I'll show you guys how the properties section works. So let's, as an example, we'll make something glass. We'll just make like a little all right, so now you can make something like this. Just an example, we'll just make this glass. Now, as you can see, this isn't really see-through. Even if we make it blue, like it isn't see-through. You won't be able to see through it if you're in the game. It'll just show up like this. Now what you can do is in this properties section, once you're like clicking on it or click on it on the side here, you can go to here and see what it says reflect in. So we'll just make that a 1. That makes it reflect the sky. So let's say you have a different skybox. We'll take that away. It'll reflect like that, you know. But if you want to make it transparent, you could just make it something like 0.5. So like the higher on the 0 point scale, so if you do like 0.9, it's almost entirely invisible. 0.1 is much less see-through. I think that's really good for like windows and stuff. So now, as you can see this window here, and if I was to go stand on the other side like this and look through it, you can see myself through the window. You can also do really interesting stuff if you click on lighting. You can actually change the way the lighting looks, so we can make it a lot brighter, which doesn't really look that good. So we'll make it 4. Compatibility, which makes it be like, you know, this is the older Roblox lighting. Voxel, which is kind of like, you know, mid 2016 kind of lighting. But I'd say just do shadow map. You can turn on, you know, you can turn on this stuff, mess around. There's no limits to what you can do here. That's kind of it here. If you want to do terrain, I'll show you how to do this as well. You can do terrain here. If you just go here, you can see this terrain editor right here. You'll see right there. You can either generate something or you can edit. So I'll just go to edit. So basically I'll explain how each of these tools work. So the add tool basically adds like a dot or whatever shape you choose to the ground. So if I was to add something like this, that would be adding it like that, which, you know, works, but if you want to go more intact, it doesn't really work that well. So let's just so if you want to stop this like weird grid from happening, just click plain lock and turn that off. All right, so I've just made it like a little weird area. I'm not even sure what I'm doing, but this doesn't really look that good. What you can do is use the subtract tool. So if you want to subtract something, like let's cut this part out, then we have a lot more of like a ditch here. This will just subtract like a little circle of it. Then you can use the grow tool here, where it will grow you a section like that. And also with all these you can choose like what material you want. So if I was to make this rock, you could grow some like rock formation on the top, or you can use erode, which will like kind of erode what you've done. Instead of like subtracting, it'll kind of like make it a lot smoother to erode. You can use a smooth tool to kind of smooth out like the shapes and edges. This really helps a lot for a lot of things. Something like that. Use a flatten tool. There's 3 different ways. This basically just shows you, but I'll just kind of, you see I can flatten it out like this. So now it should be like entirely flat. Now it's pretty much entirely flat here. You can see it. We can also paint it. So if we were to turn some of this into, pavement here, we can make it like this. And then sea level. So if we want to fill this area with ocean, we can just go like that. I'll just make it up to here. We'll just select this and bring our little build up onto the top here. There we go. Now we have like a little bit of a build here. You can also do the replace tool, which will go into a section. So if you have like grass and you want to make it sand, you change the source material to grass, and you make the target material sand. You replace it, boom, just like that. So maybe I want to change my pavement to mud. Maybe I want to change it to mud. That looks a little bit better, so I'll just do that. There we go, something like that. You know, just a little island. Just mess around with whatever you want. There's nothing holding you back. Where you put the spawn location is where the player will spawn. So you can go here, and if you want to make it invisible, just make it invisible. And if you want to take away like something like a decal on top of this, so if there's like a, you know, I want to take this away, you can just double click on it, and it'll select the decal and be like orange square. Or you can just click this little side arrow to the side of this and just delete the decal. Now we should spawn in. Let's go test this out. Boom, we are in our game, walking on the little path, looking at our wacky building here. I hope this tutorial helped you guys out. I tried to make this as simple as possible. This is just the basics. If enough people want to see another episode, I'll make another episode in this series, show you more about like lighting, more about like plugins, you know, a lot of interesting stuff. But just go mess around, have fun, and like and subscribe, and take care.